Does Kansas really have an accent associated with it?
The only people that I sort of watch on television that are meant to be from Kansas are the Winchester brothers, but they're
Yeah.
both from Texas, so it's just kind
Oh yeah, we're live.
If you want to maybe
of
share
something.
help.
Either that, or I'll just I might just use might just be like, oh yeah, April's actually a Scottish lady living in Kansas during this.
Hi,
Hello,
Mike. Hi,
Totally,
Cameron.
hello, Karen,
totally
Mike.
legit.
How are you two?
Totally. Yeah, I have no. I still haven't managed to figure out how Jacob managed to read the stream chat and um and be on call at the same time on my phone. So I'm just gonna be like, "Hi guys, I can't see what you're writing, but hi."
I don't know. Get the link out. In Haven. Give you shelter or maybe some helter skelter. Hello, Raptor.
Hi, Raptor.
What's up, Raptor?
Like Raptor, but also in Spanish.
Yeah. And what was it like? Is a raptor in Spanish? It just you gotta love subtitles sometimes.
They are really funny. One thing I really hated. This was back when House was on Netflix or something.
Uh huh.
I was watching it, and during the scene where like Baba O'Reilly plays, um, they put in closed captions "Teenage Wasteland" playing, and I got really pissed off. And then obviously the opening music is the song "Teardrop" by Massive Attack, and they just called it new age sounding music.
New age sounding music.
Yeah.
Of course.
It was like new age sounding music, perfect for a show about being in a hospital.
Yes.
Poor
I,
deaf people. They would just read that caption and be like, what?
and yes,
Like, what kind
Cameron,
of
it
show is
still is
this?
actually.
I
I know
loved
that.
House.
Yeah, so did I. And I know it's still on Netflix because my sister told me about how her boyfriend and she watched season 6 and then went back and watched it again from the beginning.
Yeah, I kind of when I rewatch the show, I've only watched season 7 and 8 like once, and then I kind of do the same and just watch up to the end of season 6. And I stand by the fact that the first like episode of season 6 is a fantastic like independent film.
Yeah,
It's like on its own merit. It's just like
Mhm.
that standalone sort of thing. It was like should have been its own little like film to do with the show. I genuinely think so. It's really good.
yes. Raptor
when
says, not just a Spanish raptor, it's El Velociraptoro.
when I was a senior in high school, um, for one not semester, I guess, just for like a quarter of the year, instead of gym, you would have to take a health class. And every Tuesday, my health teacher would be like, I'm just gonna play House. At Tuesdays, I don't feel like teaching. So we
Nice.
would just watch an episode of House.
Excellent.
It's like, yeah, yes, this is totally legit. This is exactly how people this is how medicine works in
And that's
in
why I love
America.
the memes where it's like, we can't find, we just did every test we could, and we can't find the source of this patient's pain. He's House. Did you try looking for a splinter up their rectum? You're right.
Watch Mojo. Today we're listing off the top 10 things people are sick and tired of hearing. Hello, Vince. Glad you could join us. I'm in traffic listening to this. Please keep me entertained. Will do. You got it.
Hey, Vince. Hope you're having a good time in traffic. Well, that was a terrible opening line.
Here's better.
God damn
Vince,
it,
just
Sheva.
don't kill anyone.
Hope you're good.
No one's good in traffic. Just don't kill anyone.
Yeah.
Earlier, that reminds me, Mike posted like a meme that said, like a highway sign that said 68 traffic deaths this year. And then Kylo Ren saying, I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it. I said, why did Raptor just run by, laughing maniacally, and then jump into a car? So, yeah, just maybe get one death in there to help bring the death count to the magic number for Raptor's case.
You have to keep Raptor appeased, otherwise he's gonna do it himself. It's gonna be real hard for us to stream Empress Teresa with him in jail.
I must admit, I thought of Raptor earlier when my sister. Well, I was speaking to my sister on like voice on like face chat, and like she was holding a mug, and it was like, I don't know what the actual mug said, but it was like a Facebook post, and it said 59 people like this, and I'm just like, they really just should have added 10 more onto that, and it would have made it much funnier.
Also, I wanted to message you guys about joining me on a stream on my channel. Vince, I would love that.
Please.
Forget the whammon. I will join you.
This is the gratitude I receive for fucking showing you Shark Boy and Lava Girl and reading Empress Teresa with you every week.
Wait, I'm supposed to thank you for Shark Boy and Lava Girl?
Yes!
I'm sorry, Kevin.
Yeah, I wouldn't thank you for Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
You could not deny it was phenomenally entertaining.
It's entertaining watching George Lopez chew the scenery.
Oh my god, his face on that robot was terrifying.
You're welcome.
But Gemma, you were saying.
I was just saying, I was like, if you want to do a stream with me or Cobe, it'll have to be like really early, because I remember a couple times it was like, oh, like Vince is calling, but it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I was like, do you think we should?
The answer should always be yes.
Because I have a gist now of like, I think you're 5 hours ahead of us.
Yeah.
So whenever I catch you guys in a stream late afternoon, I do the math and I'm like, oh, I hope they're not too tired.
Yeah. Like, to be fair, like I'm mostly awake, but like Jacob will just fall asleep, and I'm so jealous. He'll just fall asleep anywhere in the house.
I had a roommate like that in college. I would see her, and I love her to bits, but she also snored really loud. So she would like come back from class and be like, I'm gonna take a nap. Okay, enjoy. So then she would only be in bed for like 2 seconds, and already I would hear her start to snore. I'm like, how the fuck do you do that?
Just get the headphones out. It's like, oh, you're going for a nap? Brilliant. Right, okay. There we go. Now you can nap. I mean, you're not seeing what I'm doing, and I'm putting headphones on, but you can't see it. You can't see me. So again, the comedy's completely missing now.
Well, it's like I've said to Kenzie and Raptor several times on our Save the Creepypasta streams. Like, I'll just be like kind of nodding along and be, oh, I forgot you guys can't actually see me.
We understand we just know.
Cameron says, Shark Boy and Lava Girl is an amazing film if you ignore how flimsy every part of it is. Mike says Shark Boy and Lava Girl is definitely a thing that existed. And Raptor says, Shark Boy and Lava Girl is honestly the greatest film that ever existed since Citizen Kane or 2001: A Space Odyssey.
At least a
Um,
raptor appreciates me.
I mean, literally the best character in the whole film is probably that Linus Minus kid.
Yes.
I mean, his acting skills are just
Was he
above
in anything
par.
else? I'm gonna look that up.
And
I
Mike
don't
says,
think so. Mm.
Mike says, you
It's like
can't see me, Gemma Cena, 2021.
By the way, I was watching Dodgeball the other day. I decided, like, Cobb and me decided to introduce Logan to Dodgeball, the movie, not the sport. And the main kid from Shark Boy and Lava Girl is the little kid in the video about Dodgeball, where like Hank Azaria comes into it.
You're right.
Yeah, I was like, Jesus, Mister, you scared me. No, it was Jeepers, Mister.
Speaking of Hank Azaria, we all have to watch Mystery Men sometime.
Yes, we
Oh, he
do.
only has 10 acting credits. That's a shame.
You can't forget about
Yeah,
Mr. Electric.
Mister Electricidad.
I mean, I try.
I remember showing Shark Boy and Lava Girl to Logan because I was like, "Oh, this will be interesting," because I hadn't seen it since I was really young. So I think the movie came out when I was about 11, and my dad got a pirate copy of it. Um, and I remember sitting there watching it when I was 11, going, "What is this?" Um, but I remember showing it to Logan. And I was like, "Oh, it's really cool." Like the director got his children to come up with the story, and so he was like, "All right." And then he put it on in bed, and I like the next morning I was like, "So Logan, did you enjoy Shark Boy and Lava Girl?" And he was just like, um, yes.
I just picture like you watching it with him. He looks at you deadpan. Mother, please do not insult my intelligence. Just walks out.
Jacob comes
I
down
remember.
and looks at him and goes, Cobb, if I ever pitch you an idea from a movie, just don't listen to me.
It's like, don't listen, don't.
Don't make a
I
movie
remember.
because I just suggested shit.
Yeah. I remember the first time he got really, really disappointed about a movie. And that was the movie The Meg.
Oh,
Um
God.
he was really excited to see it because he was like, "Oh, that's really cool. You'll be like a shark," and he'd loved Jaws and he likes Deep Blue Sea and everything like that. And then I remember putting The Meg on for him, and we decided to sort of sit and watch it. And then one by one, like me and Jacob and Jacob's mum all just started looking at our phones one by one. And then about maybe not even halfway through the movie, Logan was like, "Can we switch this off?"
Face.
um, he was actually really angry at how mediocre and shit it was.
I want a Logan's movie monster review of The Meg.
Yes.
I'll have to. I'll mention it to him because I genuinely think he will do it. Because also now that
Yes.
because the Meg is now on Netflix, so like
Yes.
if you watch the whole thing and then you can get really angry, and it could be the angry Logan game movie nerd. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say it would be like angry video game nerd when he was reviewing like Bible games. Like if Logan's reaction, his video for the Meg would be the same as the nerd with the game Flight to Egypt. Video starts. It's just bad. Video ends.
Please
It's
just
bad.
give him a hat, a tie, and a blazer over a t-shirt and be like,
No.
yes, because they'll do it
No.
better. Then so then when Doug Walker notices and he's like, oh, that's flattering, he's like, oh, don't get too flattered, dude. I'm doing your job but better.
Yes.
I'm doing your job without being an unlikable jackass. Raptor says, "What's up, John, Mr. Electric Electricson, 2005." And Mike says, "The Meg, more like the meh. Got him." Logan the Angry Monster Film Child.
The Angry Monster Film Child. I like that.
Don't start looking down the path of the nameless hack critic. He deserves better.
He does deserve better than NC.
He does.
Do not connect your child to Channel Awesome. Uh, I could say something very bad about them. But,
Yeah, but I just want Logan to make a response against like Doug Walker being like, unlike you, I run from nonsense. I don't cover for them.
oh,
It's funny because
it's
true.
It's 2012 again. I just imagine like air horns going off after you said that.
Yeah, 1v1 scrub.
Anyway, we've been going for 15 minutes now. Shall we get started on the stories?
Yes, that's
Aw,
probably
but
a
I'm
good
having
plan.
fun.
As who said it earlier? It was either Mike or Darius said, "Oh, so we're having the dramatic threeding."
Dramatic reading.
You know it was Darius, probably.
Yeah, I think
Yes,
so.
my like it's like my prodigy.
Because Darius is determined for me to name my first tumor after him.
All right. So, everyone, thank you for joining us. We're going to start tonight by reading the story Lightning. We had just moved into a little ranch house in the suburbs. Storybook neighborhood. Quiet, friendly neighbors, picket fences, the whole 9 yards. Suffice it to say that this was supposed to be a new start for me, a recently single dad, and my 3-year-old son. A time to move on from the previous year's drama and stress. I viewed the thunderstorm as a metaphor for this fresh start. One last show of theatrics before the dirt and grime of the past would be washed away. My son loved it anyway, even with the power out. It was the first big storm he'd ever seen. Flashes of lightning flooded the bare roofs of our house, parting unpacked boxes with long creeping shadows, and he jumped and squealed as the thunder boomed. It was well past his bedtime before he'd finally settled down and up to go to sleep. Next morning, I found him awake in bed and smiling. "I watched the lightning at my window," he proudly announced. A few mornings later, he told me the same thing. "You're silly," I said. "It didn't storm last night. You were only dreaming." "Oh." He seemed somewhat disheartened. I ruffled his hair and told him not to worry. There should be another storm soon. Then it became a pattern. He would tell me how he'd watched the lightning outside his window at least twice a week, despite there being no storms. Recurring dreams of that first memorable thunderstorm, I figured. It's easy to hate myself in hindsight. Everybody assures me there's nothing I could have done, no way I could have known. But I'm supposed to be the guardian of my child. These are useless words of comfort. I constantly relive that morning, making my coffee, pouring milk over my cereal, picking up the newspaper to read about the pedophile local authorities had just arrested. It was front page stuff. Apparently, this guy would select a young target, usually a boy, stick out their house for a while, and take flash photos of them through their window while they slept. Sometimes he did more. My stomach sank as the connection was made. At the time, it was merely something from a child's imagination. In retrospect, it was the scariest thing I've ever heard. About a week before the predator was caught, my son came up to me in his pajamas. "Guess what?" he asked. "What?" "No more lightning at my window." I played along. "Oh, that's nice. It finally died down, huh?" "No, now it's in my closet." I've yet to see the photos police have collected. And that's
Dare
the
I
end of
make a
Lightning.
Juario joke? We were just talking about it.
I've always really liked that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just really simple and effective.
Fucked.
And as a parent, fucking terrifying.
It is fucked.
Yeah.
And yes, that is the scientific description too. It is fun.
It is definitely fucked, yes.
So, what you guys in the chat think? If I forgot to say, the first two, all three of these are short stories, but the first two are both very short.
Yeah. Yeah, just let me know when you want me to start on the second one, and first I'd like to hear what everyone's thoughts are on Light.
Simple yet effective. Very nice. I'm glad to hear that. I gleefully take credit for that and have already paid my penance and punch. Good story, but forgive me for the next joke. Oh god. It's Raptor, so I know it's going to be good.
Damn it, Raptor. This is going to be another case of my honor student suddenly doing heroin feelings, isn't it?
I remember reading that one before. I liked it. All right, glad. Reminds me of the clown statue story in that regard. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can sort of see that.
Yeah.
It's like the clown is coming from inside the house.
It sounds more phrasing.
Phrasing, yes.
Oh god, what was that clown doing?
Okay. First time I've had to use this in a while.
Doge.
No.
Oh, we're bad at that.
Yeah.
Except it was Gemma who did it this time.
I know. I'm putting up all three.
Well, no, but she's the one who like looks at us like we're the ones who are bad at this, and Gemma's the serious one who's like, oh, these guys.
Yes. But I only had.
You're too dramatic reading children. That still makes me laugh.
Never look at me or my anime sons again.
I really love that picture so much.
I do too.
All right, but while we're waiting for Raptor's joke, Gemma, do you want to go ahead and read our next story, Roommate Troubles?
Yep. All right.
And real quick, I just want to say, I know the picture on screen right now probably isn't very frightening, but you would not believe how fucking impossible it is to find a picture of scary bunk beds, like in a dark, creepy room or something.
Yeah. I mean, I had a
bunk
look
beds
and
are inherently whimsical, so
yeah, but you know, you'd think that somebody would have taken a picture. Like, all right.
we could have
This
gone for
actually,
the scene in Step Brothers when Will Ferrell gets nearly crushed to death.
right. This actually happened to me a few years back at the University of the Arts in Philadelphia. My sophomore year, I roomed with a girl named Cara. She was a jazz vocalist, but her main interest was opera. We had a small room on the sixth floor of a dormitory called Juniper Hall. The walls were thin, and her late-night singing and voice practices would keep me up late. After a month or so of lost sleep, I convinced her to move her late-night practices to the music studios in the Merriam Theatre building a block away. Around 8 o'clock one evening, Cara announced that she would be practicing late for an upcoming recital and probably wouldn't be home until around midnight. Great, I thought. That means I can go to bed early. I was beat. I had a horrible day in the acting studio. I was ready to pass out as soon as I had dinner. She said goodnight and left, coffee and sheet in hand. I made some grilled cheese and soup, gobbled it down, and immediately began to prepare for bed. By the time I got out of the shower, my eyelids were so heavy I could hardly brush my teeth. I pulled on my PJs and crawled into the top bunk of our bunk bed. I was out as soon as my head hit the pillow. I should take a second to describe the layout of our apartment. When entering the apartment, the bedroom was through a door immediately to the left. Our bathroom was inside the bedroom, just past the bunk beds. UA Arts is nice in the sense that you don't have to share bathrooms. Anyway, I woke up to the sound of the apartment door closing. I opened my eyes and groggily checked my phone. Midnight on the dot. I rolled back over and closed my eyes. I heard Cara enter the room and stop in front of the bunk bed. Checking to see if I'm actually asleep, I thought. She flopped down on the bed below me, which was strange. She was a stickler for brushing her teeth and washing up before bed. Then again, exams were just round the corner, and we were all exhausted. The mattress below me creaked, and then was silent. Couldn't even hear her breathing. I started to drift off again. I was just on the edge of deep sleep when I startled awake again by a noise. A key in the lock, the door opening, and Kara entering our apartment, humming an opera tune. The mattress below me creaked.
And that's roommate troubles.
Yep. Yeah, like, I've never lived in a dormitory before, but that just sounds horrifying.
I agree. What
It's
do you
like,
think, Vince?
Good.
Sorry, Jimmy, you were saying.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, I remember when it comes to bunk beds, I never really had a outright bunk beds. It was always those ones that was like, the one I had was like, my bed was like in the air, but I had like a desk and a wardrobe below me, as opposed to like, or like, then my sister's one was like a futon with a desk or something like that. Never actually had proper bunk beds.
Right.
Yeah, but my cousin did, and her bedroom was always terrifying, and she used to frighten me all the time. 'Cause she was a year older than me, and her. Have you ever like been in a bedroom where you really like you're in there and you really want to leave for like there's nothing about it. It's just the room just feels really, really like you don't want to be in there.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
used to
I
feel
had
like
that
that a
feeling.
lot when I was a kid.
Yeah, it was every time I was in her bedroom. If I was there alone, I would find an excuse to not be in there when she wasn't in there.
I don't know if Raptor is sending in a joker, but he did say you three are basically that meme with two wolves laughing hysterically while the one in the middle looks extremely annoyed at the other two's tomfoolery.
I can live with that.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds about right.
There were two Karas, no, not kidding, that was good. At bed like that too, we had to get a different one when we because it was too tall. Yeah, actually, I used to have bunk beds when I was a kid, even though I had my own room. But I always slept in the top. And the one morning, I woke up on the floor, like I had just rolled out of the bed in the middle of the night. And like when I thought back about it, I was like, oh yeah, I do remember like waking up and just being like, oh well, falling back asleep right away.
I always fell out of that bed I had. Um, like literally would just like roll off of it and then land on the floor and or like fall going down the ladder or something. So whenever so it ended up being like I got to a point where it was like, yeah, we should get Gemma a proper bed where she doesn't like you realize how clumsy she is, right?
I actually still sleep in a loft bed. I've had this probably since I was 10. And the only reason, and I want new bedroom furniture. Like, I'm sick of climbing up a ladder to go to sleep. But
Oh,
we're
jeez.
just having a hard time deciding on what set to go with and whether or not I need to go with a full bed or a twin bed because my room is so small.
Mike says, ever been in a bedroom and you really want to leave? Yes, Gemma, I've been in lockdown for 14 months now. Damn.
Harsh.
Cameron says, my sister pushed me out of her bunk bed when we were kids once. Jesus.
Jeez.
You see, that's
Oh,
when you should have just
damn.
looked up at her and before walking out of the room just said, go be a woman somewhere else. All right, so let's get up to the third and final story of the evening. The Disappearance of Ashley, Kansas, which is one that I've been wanting to read for quite a while now.
It's a really good one.
Sometime during the night of the 16th of August, 1952, the small town of Ashley, Kansas ceased to exist. At 3:28 a.m. on 17th August 1952, a magnitude 7.9 earthquake was measured by the United States Geological Survey. The earthquake itself was felt throughout the state and most of the Midwest. The epicenter was determined to be directly under Ashley, Kansas. When state law enforcement arrived at what should have been the outskirts of a farming community, they found a smoldering, burning fissure in the earth measuring 1,000 yards in length and approximately 500 yards in width. The depth of the fissure was never determined. After 12 days, the statewide and local search for the missing 679 residents of Ashley, Kansas was called off by the Kansas state government at 9:15 p.m. on the night of the 29th of August, 1952. All 679 residents were assumed to be dead. At 2:27 a.m. on 30th August, 1952, a magnitude 7.5 earthquake was measured by the United States Geological Survey. The epicenter was situated under what used to be location of Ashley, Kansas. When law enforcement investigated at 5:32 a.m., it reported that the fissure in the earth had closed. In the 8 days leading up to the disappearance of the town and its 679 residents, bizarre and unexplainable events were reported by dozens of residents in Ashley, Kansas, and law enforcement from the surrounding area. On the evening of 8th August 1952, at 7:13 p.m., a resident by the name of Gabriel Jonathan reported a strange sight in the sky above Ashley. The town itself, having no official branch of law enforcement, called into the police station of the neighboring town of Hayes. Gabriel reported that what appeared to be a small black opening in the sky. Within the next 15 minutes, the Hayes police station became overwhelmed with dozens of phone calls, all reporting the same phenomenon. The phenomenon was never reported by any neighboring communities. The decision was made to send a trooper to Ashley to investigate the matter the following morning. At 7:54 a.m. on the morning of 9th August 1952, Hayes police officer Alan Mace radioed the Hayes police station. He reported that, despite following the one-way road leading into Ashley, he had become lost. According to his report, the road continued along its normal path, but somehow ended up back in Hayes. Officer Mace went on to add that the road never curved or bent in any direction. At 9:15 a.m., 7 of the town's 10 police cars were sent to investigate the situation, and all members of the team came to the same conclusion. The only road leading into Ashley stopped leading into Ashley, but instead led back to Hayes. Phone calls continued to pour into the Hayes police station, all reporting that the black opening in the sky continued to grow in size. All callers were advised to remain inside and to not travel outside unless absolutely necessary. At 8:17 p.m., Mrs. Elaine Cantor reported her neighbors, Mr. and Mrs. Milton, and their 2 children, Jeffrey and Brooke, missing. According to Mrs. Cantor's phone call, the Miltons attempted to leave the town in their family car earlier in the evening. They never returned. Law enforcement officials from Hayes never reported the car or individuals coming up the one-way road. At 7:38 a.m. on the morning of 10th of August 1952, phone calls from Ashley into the Hayes police station reported that the town was in total darkness. The sun had never risen. At 10:15 a.m., at the request of Hayes law enforcement, a helicopter from Topeka, Kansas flew over the region in which Ashley, Kansas stood. The town was never observed from air. At 12:43 p.m. on the afternoon of 11th of August 1952, Miss Phoebe Danielewski called into the Hayes police station. She reported that her daughter Erica had begun to have conversations with her father, who died 3 years prior in a drunk driving accident. To add to her concern, Mrs. Danielewski reported that Erica was attempting to go outside into the dark to join them. Over the course of the next 12 hours, a reported 329 phone calls were placed into the Hayes police station, all describing similar phenomenon with the children of the town. The following morning of the 12th of August 1952, the situation became dire. During the middle of the night, all 217 children in the town of Ashley, Kansas disappeared. A reported 421 phone calls were placed into the Hayes Police Department. Unable to be of any useful assistance, Hayes law enforcement instructed all callers to remain inside and to avoid any and all attempts at finding the missing children. At 5:19 p.m. on the evening of the 13th of August 1952, Ashley elderly man Scott Luntz reported a growing, distant fire to the south. According to his description, the fire seemed to turn the distant black into bright red and orange that seemed to extend high into the sky. Throughout the rest of the day, calls continued in, saying that the fire, in addition to moving north, now seemed to come out of the black sky. No fire was ever witnessed by any of the neighboring communities or law enforcement officials. The reports continued until 12:09 a.m. on the morning of the 14th of August, 1952. The last phone call, placed by Mr. Benjamin Endicott, reported that the fire in the sky had grown so intense that it began to appear as daytime over the town. The phone call ended abruptly. The phone call placed by Benjamin Sherman Endicott. Just hold on. Wait. Continued silence. Yeah, I see something. It's the south. It looks like. End phone call. The next phone call wouldn't be placed until the following evening. Following is the entire transcript of the final phone call to be received by the Hazley's Police Department out of the town of Ashley, Kansas. It was placed at 9:46 p.m. on the evening of the 15th of August, 1952. In the recorded phone call, the officer on duty is Officer Peter Welsh. The caller has been identified as Miss April Foster. Begin phone call.
Hayes Police Department.
Muffled static.
Hello?
Yes! Yes, hello?
Ma'am, who am I speaking with?
My name is April. April Foster. Please, sir, please help me.
What is happening, ma'am?
Last night they came back.
Ma'am, I'm going to need you to...
Last night they came back!
Ma'am, I'm going to need you to calm down and speak clearly. What happened and who came back?
Everyone.
Everyone.
They all came in the fire.
What do you mean, everyone?
My son. I saw my son last night. He was just walking down the street. He was burned. Jesus Christ, he was burned!
Ma'am,
He died last year. I raised him since he was a baby. It was just me and him. I told him to watch for cars when he rode his bike, but he never wanted to listen.
Ma'am, what you're saying isn't making any sense. You said everyone came back.
Are you fucking listening to me? Everyone! Everyone came back! Everyone who died or went missing, they're back! And they're looking for us! He said, "Mommy, I'm okay now. See? I can walk again. Where are you, Mommy? I just want to see you."
Ma'am, where are you now? Are you safe?
I'm hiding. Just like everyone else. We saw them coming through the fields, and some people opened their doors for them. God, the screaming. I don't know what happened to them, but their houses caught fire and they caved in. I have my curtains drawn. I'm hiding in the closet right now, and...
Ma'am, is everything all right? Are you okay?
Oh my God!
Ma'am?
Something just came in.
Ma'am, stay as quiet as you can. Don't make a sound.
Mommy? Mommy?
Came inside.
Stay absolutely still. Don't leave.
Mommy? Mommy, where are you hiding?
Stay quiet.
I found you, Mommy.
Ma'am? Ma'am!
End phone call. Following morning at 6:55 a.m., the law enforcement officials of the Hayes Police Department arrived at the location of Ashley, Kansas. A smoldering, burning fissure in the earth was all that remained. And that's the end.
Yay!
Yeah, God, I love that story. It's really frightening.
Yeah. The female died Mandela twice. Nicely done.
I had to.
Yeah. No, I mean it. Nicely done. Linkara joke. Linkara sees a green M&M on the ground and starts acting like a cartoon character when they see a sexy thing.
Oh, good.
So, what did you think, Kenzie?
That was good.
Glad to hear that.
It was a refreshing change. How it's in third person. It's a more clinical approach to a story.
Yeah.
I will take issue with the first comment I'm reading. The most believable pasta I've ever read.
What? The most believe.
Buddy, I'm all for suspending your disbelief, but my god.
Like, it's definitely sort of delving into like ARG territory, but not believability.
Yeah. Ashley
Like, it's a
Kansas
bit like
was.
Local 58.
Yeah. Well, that I do like that one.
Yeah, Local 58 is great, and I'm hoping that they do more with it.
Yes.
It kind of reminded me of one of the Stephen King novellas, Tommy Knockers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Something like that.
Ashley, Kansas was home to a Black Mesa testing facility. Fire in the sky. Did you mean the sun? I can't. This is pretty good. Gemma, please, sir, help me. Kenzie, did you just assume my gender?
Oh my god. Okay, so
Distress Gemma is unsettling, well acted. Oh,
oh, thank you.
amazing. This story is still on my mind and I think about it almost every day. It reminds me of a game called Little Hope and the TV show WandaVision. Okay, fine.
no.
So whatever. So it's hey, I just compared it to something else, so fair enough. Here's where and I do
Hey,
think it's real. I mean it has dates, time, names. It kind of seems so real. I really love it. Great job.
His time, dates.
mm, what is this? A scary story? Or some kind of documentary?
It has dates, times, and names. You know what also does? It. Uh, most horror stories.
So, I'm trying to find this one. Where is this jackass? You're probably one of the people who.
It's the second one.
Where?
Go up to the beginning of the comments. It's the second one.
Yeah, I see it.
Don't reply.
Oh, I thought you meant it started with, I do think it's real.
No,
Oh,
I
I
was
see. It's the
saying
same as WandaVision. So you little jackass, you're probably one of the people who are like, oh no, the Russian sleep experiment's a real story. That could actually happen. Oh,
No, no, it didn't happen. That was a thing that was made up.
and Kenzie, I want to specify, I have nothing against comparing like two things, but I'm sick and tired of, oh, this is like the MCU thing.
I know.
Yeah.
But I'll keep in mind I wasn't also going to judge because I haven't seen WandaVision and I don't know what Little Hope is.
I don't know what Little Hope is either.
Yeah.
One of the comments I can see, someone's just like, I think they meant to say woman, but they said, but they just like a perfect ending. Though I wanted to know what happened to the women. I was just like, what happened? It's like plural.
To the women, are they single?
This felt kind of like an SCP. I really liked it. Good plot, good suspense. Kid from Twilight Zone must have come and took Kansas to the void. It's a pretty good story. Took all my adult willpower to not make jokes about entering Ashley when they were talking about the roads being rerouted. Damn it, Mike. Oh,
I
I
gotta
like.
say, this is one of those stories where I wish we could like do one of like a more traditional kind of creepypasta reading where it's edited and stuff, because then we could have the effects going on in the background with the phone call, which would have been, I think, really cool.
Oh yeah, we can still try that sometime.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I want this is one of those stories where I would actually go out and seek someone who maybe did a dramatic reading of this too and see what they've done with it.
Yeah,
Acting wise,
Yeah.
especially with that phone call.
I love Cameron's comment here. No piece of fiction has ever had a date in it.
Yeah.
Like says my
Or
calendar
time.
has
Or
date,
names.
times, and
There's no
names.
names
It's
in
so
fictional
scary.
stories, guys.
It's so scary, you guys. Yeah, like JC the Hyena probably read this one. It's like, well, why is it okay for them to put exact times, huh?
It was like, 3 dates? Why not 4? Come on, writers, get it together.
Because nobody actually puts the time in their diary entries.
Oh, what little hope is what I have for WandaVision. Buzzing. Commenter wanted to know about the women. What a simp.
I know.
You guys want to try and do one of those sometime? I know a bit about editing. Yeah, I mean, if you're up for that.
Please.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I guess the thing, like, I can, yeah, because one thing is, like, you can kind of go really hard phrasing. On, like,
it'd be nice to be able to play around with the lines to have different takes.
Yeah,
that's
because
what
like some of the lines when I was reading it, I'm like, I could have said that better.
Yeah, like, I was assuming like you could kind of go all out with it. So I'm gonna go like, oh, that wasn't so good. I'll do the next one. And
no offense, Manny. I'll also take over the part of the little boy because you're not very convincing as a small child.
What you mean with a voice like this? I can't pull off a small child very well.
Not unless you want to be put on the registry.
Please, ma'am, you offend me. It's like that episode of Scrubs. There's they're like that kid with that really deep voice, and he's like, "Hey, can I get a lollipop?"
I can see one of Jacob's comments actually on Ashley, Kansas.
Really?
Oh, where is that?
Yeah. It's far down. It's Creppy Poopso 1.
Of course it is.
All right, real quick, I want to read this comment from Rockwell Lancer. I love the concept of this story. I have one problem with it, though. Being from the nearby area of the story, none of these names are local names. It kind of takes me out of it. Like, it could almost be a realistic story. Again, what do you mean realistic?
Yeah, did you actually go? What do you mean these aren't local names? Did you actually go and look this up?
But even Hayes is a small enough city that you know names that have been around here forever. I've edited.
There's no Daniel Lusky. This is fake and gay.
I've edited it to be more familiar names and locals. And should I post an updated version? P.S. The size of the town is a little unrealistic too. It has been edited down. No, you should not post that, you pretentious jackass.
I mean,
wait,
like,
was this written by Lol Skeletons?
Like, if I read a story that was sort of like written, that was sort of set where like I used to live or something, or somewhere near where I live now or something like that, and I'm just like, but it's not real. It doesn't have to. Everything doesn't have to be like, the names don't have to be real. Like, it's fine. Like, leave it alone. Like, just let people have the suspension of disbelief whilst they're reading it. But they're obviously not going to go, "Oh my god, did that actually happen? I better go check this out. Oh yeah, there was. Oh no, there wasn't an Ashley, Kansas. I've been totally duped. This is not fair."
Heckin' bamboozled.
Yeah,
and that's what I really hate about the community. And I know not everyone's like this in the creepypasta community, but it's like so many of them, and I know most of them are children, but I hate that mentality because we tell kids all the time, you can't believe everything you read on the internet, but so many just come in with the mindset of, because I'm reading this on the same place where I can go and Wikipedia anything, it must be true. Like, these people wouldn't lie to me.
Yeah.
And no, these are fiction.
I was like, is that what people do on the internet? Just go on there and tell lies?
Why? Why would you do that?
All those unnamed characters in Lord of the Rings, the council of that one guy, Dark Lord.
But, like, it really does bring up, like, what do you do when you're in school and you're in English class reading something fictional? Do you go and, like, ask your teacher, did this really happen? And then your teacher just stares at you, realizing that they might not actually be doing their job as properly as they thought.
Yeah, they also kind of do it with, like, the opposite way around, where, like, people think, like just because they made a movie on it means that it isn't real. Like
Yeah.
oh, it's like the Titanic isn't real. That was just a movie with like, and I'm like no, it did happen, but the love story what didn't really happen. There's no Jack and Rose.
Yeah.
That's
Like
why the
that,
term based on a true story is a thing, guys.
yeah.
Oh god, this comment didn't age well. OMG, I remember Cry reading this on YouTube and I loved it.
Fry.
Uh,
God.
Oh
Yeah.
god, Cryotic, why? I loved Cryotic as a kid.
Yeah.
And oh god, that
I
news
never
threw me for a loop.
watched Cry. I bet I must admit I really didn't start using YouTube sort of regularly until I was about 20. So
Lame.
like yeah, like it was like I always used it in the back like in the background, but like I didn't really start going on it until I was deeply, deeply depressed.
Right. And then you started using it. And then you got
Yeah,
more depressed.
to be fair, if I hadn't got deeply, deeply like depressed, I wouldn't have found Jacob's channel like that. And then I started like getting really hell. Then I started looking forward to something every week.
Wings and roundabouts, my friends.
Yes.
Yeah,
And I like Mike's comment here. I like the idea of Independence Day, but I have one problem with it. There aren't any alien spacecraft over the Earth. It's almost realistic, but not quite. Oh,
you kind of sound like cinema snob.
that's what I was going for. Cameron says,
It's great.
"Oh, the fiction is unrealistic. How shocking!" Real story. My hometown got a shout out in Godzilla 2014. Was watching it in that city at the time, and everyone got excited. Nobody yelled "fake."
Oh yeah, I can't see Godzilla outside my window right now.
Okay. Cameron's asking what Cry did. It turns out he messaged a lot of underage fans over the years, and while it's not as extreme, like he was also a really shitty friend to Russ, where he would sext with Russ's girlfriend when they were still dating, and Cry still had a girlfriend at the time too, and just did all this really sketchy shit, and then made a video trying to pass it off as, again, blame my mental illness. This isn't me, guys. I'm sorry, but
Oh
not.
God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what I kind of went through. I don't know if either of you ever watched Twin Perfect. They did a bunch of Silent Hill reviews and stuff.
Oh yeah, I
No.
think I think I've heard of this guy.
Yeah, the one guy, his username was Fungo. Like it turned out he was very abusive to his girlfriend, and it's
Oh
like, oh well, this really
yeah, for me it was probably like like most recently it was I got introduced to Tribe 12, which I really quite liked, and then I found out so this it was like it was I don't know it wasn't this year, but it was towards the end of last year that the guy who made Tribe 12 was basically like a nonce and into bestiality. So that was nice.
YouTube makes me
that
want to
was.
not like anything anymore.
I know
Yeah.
it's very disappointing.
I have a running joke that I tell my friends that I can't buy Morphe palettes anymore because whenever I buy one based off of a beauty guru, right after I buy it, it turns out they've entered some scandal where they fuck up real bad, and I'm like, God damn it! I feel
Yeah.
bad using this now.
So, to lift our spirits, though, here's a comment from Raptor. Jurassic Park was a good movie, but cloning and genetic engineering technology hasn't been perfected to bring back long dead species. Can't believe I was bean boozled. Thank you, Raptor. I don't know if Kenzie's going to thank you, but I certainly do.
Did you know that Scotland was the first place in the world to clone something?
Oh,
And it was a sheep.
Yeah, Dolly.
yeah.
Yep.
I remember I was watching about that on Unsolved Mysteries as a kid. And my mom walked into the room and she's like, "Oh my god! On the one soap opera I watch, there's a character who died, but they made a clone of her so she could come back, and her name was Dolly. I get it now.
What
Cameron
show
asks,
was
"Hi,
this?
YouTube.
I
How
don't
full of
know.
sex pests are you? A lot."
That's right.
I've never actually. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Just reading Mike's comment. Matt's right. Once you hit a certain number of subs, you become a massive degenerate.
One thing I've never watched, and I don't know if I ever could, is watch an American soap opera.
Neither
The
can I.
closest I've gotten the closest I've gotten to watching anything soap opera is probably Desperate Housewives, and that's not really a soap opera.
Yeah, I would also say Twin Peaks, but that was intentionally like poking fun
Yeah,
at soap opera tropes.
People you
yeah.
would call Degrassi a soap opera, but I never considered it. I always just considered it a teen drama, and it was Canadian, so I'm still in the clear.
Canadian.
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember
first,
Degrassi.
Yep.
Drake was on Degrassi.
Yes,
yeah,
he was.
first Dolly, then William Wallace. Keep an eye on those ones.
I just remember when Drake started gaining traction. I'm like, why is Aubrey calling himself Drake now? That's not his name.
One of my favorite videos. Have you guys ever watched? I'm pretty sure you have, Manny, like from my recommendation. But have you watched A Dose of Buckley ever?
I
Yes.
haven't.
Right. That was actually he was one of the first channels I ever started watching on YouTube. Like when I was using YouTube sort of very casually, he was like one of the first channels I ever sort of subbed to. Like back in like 2008, 2009. But he did every year he did a top 10 worst songs of the year list. He missed out 2018 and 20 no, you missed out 2019, but he went back to it in 2020. But he did one, and it was like the worst songs of 2011 or 2012, and it was a song by Drake that he included in one of them, and it was that song "Started from the Bottom, Now We're Here." And he started talking because like A Dose of Buckley's Canadian, and he was just like, Drake never started from the bottom. He was on Canadian. He was on TV, and he was like, well, Canadian TV, and and then one of the jokes was like, but this maybe the song started from the middle, and now I got a few lucky breaks along the way, and now we're here. It doesn't have the best ring to it.
Right.
But yeah, I recommend watching them. He is really funny.
Yes, indeed. Also, I just need to call out another comment here. It says about as close to Lovecraft as one could get. Okay, you've clearly not read a lot of Lovecraft.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, Lovecraftian stuff is so much weirder.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not Lovecraftian. It's not even close. I kind of understand the thought process because it's like, oh, there's some unknown thing that's going on, and it's like, well, it's not really because you're kind of told what's kind of going on.
Yeah.
It's not some sort of unseen evil. It seems to be like it's got sort of a more scientific, in the context of the story, issue that's kind of going on there. It's just a scary story about something that's that's put in sort of a realistic way.
I think what maybe they meant was about as close to Lovecraft as one could get on this website.
True.
Because when you have a website overrun with, and my video game was haunted, and this bullied victim is now the killer, and Slenderman, and that's probably is more accurate. It's as Lovecraftian as you're gonna get on this website.
Slenderman is my husband. Oh,
clip that. Clip that.
Surely the closest you can get to Lovecraft is Lovecraft.
Well, yeah, but again, I'm thinking maybe this person meant on this website. That's just what I'm gonna tell myself so I can get to sleep tonight.
Sounds good.
Now, I'm thinking of our creepypasta cinematic kickoff from last night, but Paco just nukes the entire town where all the stops are happening. Slenderman shows up exactly according to Keikaku. And Gem of the Weeb, Keikaku is Japanese for flat. And
I
Toby,
still
why
like
is he
my pitch.
speaking?
I like my pitch for the ending better, where we take the concept from to Bully Flea, but actually make it good by having all the bad creepypasta characters meet their writers. And so you either have the writers ashamed at their former work or the character creeped out at what an absolute lunatic their writer is.
I'd be interested in that.
So you have Sonic.exe and Jane the Killer just completely terrified and hating their own existences. And then you have the others just shaming their works.
Yes.
And I call dibs on being the writer of Jeff the Killer, where I just go to town and be like, you go. This whole trend started because you started as a photoshopped image of a girl who committed suicide. He goes, "What the fuck?" And he goes, "I know, right? It's fucked."
Mike says, speaking of stuff you'd find on this website, Kenzie the Killer when?
Mike, if you ever make that, I will find you
I'm already typing.
and I will kill you.
See, you're getting into character.
Fine, I'll be fine. I won't kill him. I'll be Mackenzie, the breaker of knees.
Cameron says, Nina the Killer, subtitle crying in Spanish.
And no, every scene she's in, she keeps shifting back from a boy to a girl.
Yeah. And has to mention her hair blacks.
And she keeps switching for a boy to a girl. No one ever calls it out, but like whenever she enters a scene, someone like does a sideways glance, like, wait, what? Like does a double take, but just lets it go.
Yeah, I feel like Slenderman and his original creators should just have a respectful handshake. Yeah.
Well, no, Slenderman wouldn't be looped in with the bad creepypasta. So, and then another one of my suggestions was like the good creepypasta characters are just watching from like a top skyscrapers, eating popcorn, being like, they think they can join our ranks.
We should go MCU, have a post-credit scene where everyone who's written a shitty story involving Slender Man is being sued by Slender Man for besmirching his good name.
See,
can we also have just Deadpool walk into a scene and be like, "Hi," and then walks away?
Sure. Sorry,
to be fair, because the amount of times that Slenderman has been flanderized to like to beyond recognition, I can imagine him meeting sort of Eric Knudsen and just be like, "Why did you create me for this?" Like, I mean, things were going so well until, like, my existence was relatively all right for the first couple of years, and then
we could have the creepypasta characters ask him, like, referring to, some of the bad shit he's been in, be like, "Can't you talk even though you have no mouth?" And then he just quietly face palms and shakes his head. So they ask him, like, "How come you're not doing this or this? Where's Maxie and Proxy?" And every time he just either like shakes his head disappointedly or just walks away.
Or like if sort of like Ben, or like the character of Ben sort of meets Jaduzable and just be like, "Could you have just left me with the fucking people at Nintendo?" Like, really? It's like, did I really have to be part of a story called Meeting Ben Drown's Sister?
And, okay, I want to clarify, I know what flanderized means, but I just imagined like a scene from Marble Hornets when Slenderman shows up. Howdy doody, neighborino.
The thing is that the creepypasta community didn't even flanderize him, because that means that they take one trait and just exaggerate it to the point where it's almost unrecognizable. The thing is, they just made shit up, like that he's talking or
That
shit like that.
he's taking people under his wing and like
Yeah, that
training
like
them.
he wouldn't just kill you on sight, and that he would just, okay, now you're my new sidekick.
Yeah, his proxies, they weren't under his command. That was what happened to their minds, like what they did because just from being around him.
Yeah, like he's
Exactly.
not, guys, he's not Batman. He's not just taking orphans at random and be like, now you're my sidekick.
Yeah, and also like you said like Masky earlier. I know I've ranted about this before, but fuck anyone who calls them Hoodie and Masky. They were never called that. They were always called the Hooded Man and the Masked Man. Fuck you and your cutesy little Hoodie and Masky.
Okay, Manny, bring it back. Stay with us.
I'm calm. I'm calm.
You've been sitting on that rant for a while, haven't you?
Yes.
Oh dear.
I
So
don't
I
think I don't think I've ranted like that since the time I did the loves to science rant. I just remember Cricket cracking up about the voice I was using for it.
Raptor brings up the ending that he and I were talking about. The film ends with a bad creepypastas having an existential crisis and having their corporal forms be destroyed via explosions.
Yes.
Alright, I'm gonna have to head off, guys, because I'm gonna get food and things, and it's like 10 to 11.
All right.
Nice.
Just wait for my comment to show up here.
Mike. Yeah. We at least got it over for an hour, so that's good.
Oh, whoa. Mask. I hate you, Mike. I hate you so much right now.
Now you know why I became Mackenzie Breaker of Knees.
All right, but yeah, I should go eat as well. And
I'm having a cheat night and I'm gonna have pizza. I'm so excited.
brilliant.
Nice.
Thank you
I'm
both
only
for
gonna have a
coming
couple
on.
slices though. I'll be good.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
And everyone, thanks for tuning in. And I'll be back with Kenzie and Raptor tomorrow for more Empress Teresa. Please like,
Yay.
comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys then. Same bean time, same bean channel. We done.